everyone, it's Suffer and I'm back with another video. So today we're getting something that's a little different from what I usually do. And sorry, I didn't record the first part of making this, so yeah, you just get it from here. So what is this? Well, let me tell you about that. The last 2 days at school we had a class about digital painting. It was basically about learning how to use Photoshop and also focusing a bit on making good layout and composition and colors and value and stuff. But we only had 2 days, so it was limited how much we could squeeze into those 2 days. So the assignment was to make a monster in its natural environment, and we had to think about foreground and background and middle ground, and make a monster that was big enough for it to be rendered with some details. So I made this guy. He's not really a monster, he's more of a creature. I don't know what he is. Feel free to interpret him however you want to. But he's just this ghostly kind of body with some ceramic hands and a mask. And he has antlers because he's a cute little mask guy. So we had to use Photoshop, and I am not a big user of Photoshop. I know how it works and I know most of the shortcuts and stuff. Would you be quiet, car? Thank you. There are a lot of cars outside my windows. I'm sorry about that. Photoshop, yeah. I'm not that into using Photoshop, so I find it kind of hard to use it for drawing digitally. I find it really easy and good to use for photo manipulation. Thank you. Words, it's so hard. But for drawing, it's not my preferred software. So I was kind of scrambling through this and just trying to do my best and work with what I have. I used just a basic round brush for all of this because the teacher we had, he was talking about how you can get all of those cool textured custom brushes and stuff. But he said that he just likes to sometimes to just use the default round brush because you can get pretty good results out of that. And I didn't really want to struggle a lot with the brushes. In the beginning I was trying to kind of use some custom brushes, but it's just too much of a struggle for me. I'm a lazy person, I do it the lazy way. So I started out painting the background, and you probably saw the mountains I had in the beginning. Those were very, very ugly. But then I remembered when our teacher was demonstrating how to use Photoshop, he painted some mountains, and he had this approach, kind of like a Bob Ross approach, where he would just lay down planes of a light color and then bring them out more by putting some shadows behind them, so it's more of a cliffside actually. And I figured that looked pretty easy and it looked really good, so I just decided to do that, and it looks so much better. And these actually look like mountains. You can see what they're supposed to be and not just blobs of brown paint. Oh, and now we're painting the face of the spirit guy, whatever he is. Yeah. I feel like he's really cute. I was gonna give him glowing eyes because at first I didn't know what to do with them, and then somebody suggested that I do that, so I figured that sounds really cool. I'm gonna give him glowing eyes. But then I painted them in all black just to do something while I was working on everything else, and I just really liked how it looked with the total black eyes, and they look kind of flat, so it looks like they're just carved into the mask and you can't see his face underneath. I don't know if he has a face. Maybe this is his face. and rendering the horns and rendering everything. I loved doing all of the cracks in his mask. I end up doing more cracks because someone came by my desk and said, "Oh my god, those cracks look amazing." So I said, "Thank you." And then I put some more cracks in there because it's just so fun to paint cracks and it's really easy. You just have to make a branch kind of pattern and then put white highlights where the light would be hitting, and then it looks like cracks. It's like magic. Oh, also you might notice that I have a bunch of colors just floating around the screen. That's because I originally picked some colors I just found a random image that I liked and I picked the colors that I thought worked well together off of the picture, and then I just had them on top of my painting to use them as a reference, so I would have a more uniform color scheme for this. So yeah, as you can see, the color scheme is kind of pinkish, a bit yellow, and purple, and kind of blue. And I find that having a set amount of colors that you can use that you know will work well together really helps to bring the whole image together. And it's also a good idea to color pick off of your actual image. So if you want a white color for something, for example his mask, if I wanted a white color for that, I could color pick the moon, which I also did, but then I added some more yellow. Yeah, it's nice to just color pick from different places in your drawing so you know that the colors will work well together. Oh look, he has a crack in his eye. He looks kind of sad. And then I started adding those strings that you see now, and I added the beads or whatever on top, and then I kind of made the beads light up. So now he looks more like a Christmas tree than a scary forest spirit. Whoopsie. But yeah, he's supposed to be kind of leaning over the viewer, if you haven't gotten that vibe from him. I will explain it to you. But yeah, that's why the trees are all leaning inwards. It's because perspective. Yeah, so like someone had just fainted and he's standing over them and looking curiously at what's going on here. What is the human doing? And after I finished rendering him, I kind of just went over the entire picture and fixed small mistakes and stuff like that. So yeah, I jump back and forth because it's important as well to remember to not work on one piece of the drawing a lot and then zoom out and you go, oh my god, the rest of the drawing is poop. I should have worked at it more equally. So yeah, you start by blocking out all of the planes, and then you can go into rough detail with everything, and then you can go into more of finer detail work. I did not keep to this 100%, but that's a good thing to remember if you're painting digitally, to make sure that everything works before you go into detail. I also just noticed that there is no cursor on this. I was using the new OBS Studio application program, because it's on the school computer, and I was using that to record, and I set it to not capture the cursor. And apparently in Photoshop, if you set it to that, there's just nothing, so it looks like it's being painted by itself. It's kind of confusing to me, but please let me know if you like that, because I'll probably be recording more things on my school computer, so it would be nice to know if you prefer to have the cursor or not. But here it is, it's almost finished now, and I think that this turned out really good. I love it a lot. People were saying when we had the critique session that I had too many tangents, but I think it's okay. I don't care, but because I just love this so much. I've never really done any digital painting. I always do, line art with shading, coloring stuff. I've never done anything lineless like this, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. Oh wait, before you click away, I was thinking about doing a Q&A, so if you have any questions for that, please comment down below and tell me your question. And if you could start the comment with Q:, so I know which questions are for the Q&A. That would be great. But that's about it for this video. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later.